Hey everyone, my name is Shawn Shaler. Welcome to Avatar The Last Podcasters, or Podcaster singular today. Chris is booked doing something else, or, I actually don't know for sure that he is, but I'm trying to do the right thing and record this because I think he's booked. He's at a camp doing fantastic charitable work because Chris is a stellar person. Y'all knew that. And he's taking care of that, and I just want him, when he comes home, to be able to, relax on Friday and spend time with his family, because I think it's a week-long ordeal, and so I want him to relax. So I'm going to record something just as a filler so that he doesn't have to come back home and do a full podcast on Friday. So I thought it would be fun just for me, and then someday I'll make him do his for another filler episode. I'm just going to do my top 5 memories from our time on the podcast together. So Chris and I go quite a ways back, like 2013. I guess it's not terribly far. I don't know. It's all relative. But we've been doing the podcast for 4 years now. So, we've known each other for 10-ish, been doing the podcast for 4-ish. I'm just going to limit these to favorite podcast memories. And let's start with number 5. I wrote these down. I put a lot of detail in there. But number 5, I'm actually going to pick a fairly recent one. It was not long ago at all where Chris had kind of had a rough week. I kind of had a rough week. The United States of America kind of had a rough week. And every once in a while we do this where we get into just a little bit of real talk, whether it's some kind of politics or religion or social awareness or just personal development and growth type things. And we get into those on the show. And I couldn't think of any others, but I appreciate when that happens. I appreciate that we are able to use sort of the show as a platform to talk to each other. I don't know, we don't have a massive fan base that we're probably influencing with our socio-political opinions or anything. But it's nice for us to be able to talk to each other about those things in constructive fashion. And we had one really recently where we had just a pretty good talk about America. And as usual, I don't know how to take things seriously. And so I tried to diffuse situations with humor. But I think it was a good discussion. And it's important to us to be able to vent those things to one another. So that's my number 5. I'm going to jump to a number 3 tie. So 2 number 3 entries, they're tied. And number 3.1, I guess, is And the Winner Is, which we reviewed with our friend Theo Brown. You might remember Theo. He's been on a couple times. Great guy. We loved the ability to get him on for, I think that was his second visit onto the podcast. And we had a lot of fun reviewing that episode. The other number 3 tie, so tie 3.2, if you will, was we did a shipping episode with Jamie, and we've had Jamie on maybe 3 or 4 times total. And that was actually one of our most popular episodes by sort of viewer commentary and stuff. People love ships. I don't necessarily, but that episode was obviously very popular and hard to ignore that. More importantly, it was a lot of fun going through those ships. Number 2 memory was I got to meet our friend, or Chris's friend, now I consider him our friend, John, in real life. So we've had John on for a Batman episode. It's not that he's not into Avatar, I honestly don't remember. I want to say he's one of those people that is into Avatar, but either hasn't watched Korra or he's not into Korra. But we had him on to talk about the Batman movie. And then he went to Comic-Con with us, which you could also put Comic-Con itself, this most recent one where we had our panel and we had John along. So maybe just call all of Comic-Con was just a tremendous memory. An easy number 2, fought for a number 1 spot. But I'm going to give number 1 spot to, we did favorite Disney movies with my wife way back in. That was very early. My wife and I were still living in an apartment together. And we were still kind of hashing out what we wanted to do on the podcast every now and then. And I got my wife on, and we talked about favorite Disney movies, I believe. That was a lot of fun. And then I'm going to cheat and throw in a bonus here. It's not really a singular memory, but pervasive. A pervasive favorite was the initial idea phase of starting the podcast. I had recently left my job where I worked with Chris at Payless Shoe Source, and it was really nice to start thinking of a way. We liked YouTube. Chris was getting really big into YouTube at the time. And we wanted a way to keep in touch and to sort of add some content to his YouTube channel. And, I like talking out loud, so I like hearing my own voice. And that whole idea and planning stage gave me some comfort as I was kind of transitioning into a different role and a different kind of part of my life, if you will, at that point. So those were my top 5 or 6 or whatever ish memories, supposed to be top 5 memories of doing this podcast with Chris. So thank you for bearing with us and letting Chris have a break this week. Again, he's doing tremendous, great charitable work. And if anyone's earned a break, he absolutely has. So Chris, thank you for all you do, buddy. Look forward to seeing you next week as well. And I look forward to a regular episode of the podcast next week. So, hey, I'm Shawn Shaler. This is Avatar The Last Podcasters. Until next time.